Hi everybody, it's Colleen over at Uncanny Crafting, and today I'm going to show you how to make a cute little 3x3 box that you can put your little note cards in. So first, I cut a piece of Modern Medley paper. I'm going to be using the houndstooth side, and I cut it to 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. And how I got that measurement was I went down to the card size I'm going to be using is 3x3 here. So I went down to the 3x3, and it says 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. For these boxes, they are an inch thick, so we cut our paper to 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. Now we're also going to pull out the handy little bone folder that they have tucked right in the side of our envelope punch board here. Excuse me. So on here it says our first score line is 2 5/8, and we're going to go ahead and follow that one. So we're going to go to 2 5/8. We're going to go ahead and punch that and score it. And then we're going to go ahead and pop out to an inch out, which is going to create our inch thickness here. And we're going to go to 3 5/8, and we're going to do the same thing. And then we're going to go and just follow this exactly like you were making an envelope with this. So we're going to line our score line up here with this little arm that's coming out here. So we're going to line that up and punch it and score it, and do the same thing with the inside line here. Punch and score. And then we're just going to keep doing that all the way around. And these boxes are pretty quick to put together, which makes them very nice. And they're really cute to put little gifts in. I even put a couple little treats for my son's teacher in one for Valentine's Day. So, and now once you get this done, this is what your little piece of paper is going to look like. And you'll have all these little nubs when you move your punch board. So your piece of paper is going to look like this. And today I really like the points to mirror the print on the paper, so I'm not going to round my corners. But if you did want to do that, this is the back side of your punch board, and that will also round your corners for you, which does give a nice polished look. So now I'm going to take my scissors, and you see we have little corners in these 4 little spots here. And I'm just going to snip from, this is one score line here, and here's another one here. So I'm going to, on this score line, where this little corner is, I'm just going to cut to the score line that makes the other part of this corner. And I'm going to do that on all 4 of these. And I try to, you need to make sure that you keep your corners all going the same way as well. It really helps with the finished project. Okay, so there's those. And then I like to use my mono for this part. Excuse me, this weather is killing me today. And so we're going to keep those folded up and just bring them in. I'm going to flip mine over. And I know this pattern is a little busy and it might make it a little harder to see, and for that I do apologize. But for this now we are going to go through with our bone folder and score all of our little score lines. So you'll have 2 on each of these flaps. And the reason I folded it over is because we do want the houndstooth on the outside. So I'll just take my bone folder here and run it over all these. I'm sorry, my paper keeps slipping. But I actually use my son's old baby dresser for a craft table. So it's kind of messy. It's got a few crayon marks on it, so I try to cover that up for you guys. Alright, so now here's what we have. And if we take all these and bunch them up, then you'll have your little tab sticking out, and you can see where this is coming together. So now I'm going to take these 2 flaps and make sure they're pulled in, and I'm going to put a little bit of the mono adhesive on these little corners here. And I like to use the mono on this project specifically just because it gives you a little extra play. I know a lot of people do use the score tape and stuff, but sometimes I find out, like after I have already done it, that it's just a little off. So with these tabs, I'm just pulling up the two sides adjacent to it and gluing it right inside there. So this one here I'll do up so that you can see. So these are going to lay and just make the corner of your box. And once you stick it down there really good, the mono is not going to move so much, or at all. Okay, and these ones up here we're actually going to leave, because these are going to fold down in. Okay, so now depending on how you want yours to lay, I do know some people who like their sides to come in and show. Personally, I like them to come up from the bottom, so I'm going to put a line of multi-glue right here on the inside of here. I'm going to get this flap out of the way for you guys. And these bend down, and I try to make sure they line up pretty well. Get them to squeeze in there. And then just put one hand inside your box and one hand outside and just kind of press down. Now this one usually requires a little extra finagling on my part, and that might just be the way I do it. I pull this up and tuck this under. And then here you want to make sure, this one is really the you can say it's the tricky one. If you don't make sure this one's lined up correctly, you'll end up with a lopsided box. So you want to make sure that this one is laying pretty straight. And that's another reason why I like the houndstooth paper, is because you can really kind of see where these go, where they line up at. Okay, and now you can either pull these off, or you can cut them off. This one I'm going to cut them off. You can also make sure you, when you go to glue your edges up, you make sure they're going the other way, and then you'll have the flaps coming in on this side. Okay, and then this just tucks right in right there, and there's your little box. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to check out some more, you can go over to uncannycrafting.com. And thanks for watching. Bye.